Welcome to the Manager Lab, where we delve into the increasingly dynamic world of talent management. In each episode, we will unravel key insights, break down the most relevant books and articles, and provide actionable tips to optimize your approach in developing and retaining top talent. Stay tuned for a deep dive into the art, science, and strategy of unlocking your team's full potential. Let's enter the Manager Lab. Well, hello, welcome back to the lab, where we dive into ideas that help you as a manager lead more effectively. I'm your host, Greg Gillum. Today we're talking about a critical yet sometimes overlooked topic, the red flags that make candidates walk away from your organization before you've even hired them. Based on a recent HBR article by Groisberg and Abrahams, we'll cover 4 organizational red flags that drive top talent away from you and your team, and what you as a manager can do about them. By the end of the podcast, you'll have key takeaways and actionable tips to strengthen your hiring and embedding process. So let's get started. The authors note that many organizations struggle to attract and retain the right talent. Qualified applicants are scarce, interviews don't yield enough insight, and promising candidates back out. If you're spending time and budget on recruiting and still finding fewer great hires or low acceptance rates, it's worth asking whether your organization is unintentionally sending warning signals. These red flags matter because candidates are evaluating you just as much as you're evaluating them. And in a tight labor market, the best will walk away if they see signs of trouble. So here are 4 key red flags identified in the article, plus how to spot them and a quick sense of why they're harmful. Number 1, lack of clarity about the job or the organization. So if candidates can't understand what the role entails, what success looks like, or what the organization stands for, they'll hesitate. The article highlights unclear job descriptions, shifting expectations, and ambiguous reporting lines. Why does this matter? Candidates fear ambiguity. They want to join a place where they know what they'll do, how they'll be measured, and how they'll fit into the culture. If they get fuzziness up front, they will infer structural or cultural weakness. So how do you spot this? Does the job description go beyond, well, we'll just figure it out? During interviews, do candidates ask, how will I know I'm doing well? And then they get vague answers. So the tip here is to ensure that every open role has a very clear role profile, success metrics, and that the hiring team knows how and what to communicate. Number 2, poor recruitment or hiring practices. So this covers things like disorganized interview schedules, inconsistent communication, lengthy delays in communicating with the candidate, or treating candidates impersonally. The article notes that bad hiring practices are a red flag in themselves. Why does this matter? The hiring process is the candidate's first real experience of your organization. So if the process feels chaotic, they'll assume that the business itself may be chaotic. How do you spot this? Are interviews getting rescheduled? Is the feedback delayed? Are there too many rounds without a clear purpose? Do candidates complain about silence or disconnected interviewers? The tip here is to design the process end to end from the candidate's perspective. Communicate timelines, keep to them, give meaningful interactions, and then treat candidates with respect. Number 3, unhappy, disengaged, or, quote, bad employee signals. When candidates interact, even indirectly, with current employees who seem unhappy or disengaged or cynical or treat the process badly, that's a red flag. The article points this out as well. Why that matters, candidates are scanning for cultural clues. Do the people in the room seem motivated? What's the vibe here? If employees act as though they're just passing the time, the candidates will infer risk. So how do you spot this? During interview fixtures, candidate tours, or casual conversations? Do you hear negative comments about the business? Do employees seem disengaged? The tip here is before hiring, you might audit candidate-facing touchpoints. Are your people treating conversations seriously? Are you enabling candidates to talk with a range of your team members who reflect the culture that you want? And then finally, the fourth one is poor organizational or market reputation. The fourth red flag, when the broader organization or its brand has reputation issues. So whether that's internal, i.e., there's a high turnover rate, there's a chaotic change in place, or maybe it's external, industry reputation or negative press. The article flags these things. Why does this matter? Top candidates often choose organizations based not only on the job, but on the employer brand, the stability, the credibility. Reputation gives confidence, and a damaged reputation can reduce the candidate's confidence and increase their perceived risk. How do you spot this? Do you see high turnover rates internally? Are there public complaints on employer review sites? Do candidates ask pointed questions about past layoffs or leadership turnover? Those are all red flags. The tip here, be transparent about your state of play. If you're going through change, don't hide it. Show how you're addressing it instead. Build positive signals. Highlight stable teams, growth stories, and employee testimonies. Okay, so here's some of the key takeaways for managers. Recruitment is not just about filling a seat, it's about creating a compelling candidate experience. Make sure that every touch point, from the job ad to the interview to feedback to employee interactions, they all signal something. And if any one of them is weak, the overall perception of you, your team, and your organization can suffer. Clarity, consistency, and authenticity matter. Candidates are savvy these days. They can sniff out misalignment. And the hiring process is a two-way match. You're evaluating them, they're evaluating you, and treat that reality accordingly. Okay, so here's some actionable tips that you as a manager can take to avoid these red flags and make your organization more attractive to candidates. Number one, refine job roles early. So before posting a role, align the hiring manager and the team on the purpose, deliverables, and success metrics. Create a what good looks like, one-page kind of ad, if you will, and share that with the candidates and the interviewers. During the interview, ask, how will I know I've succeeded in the first 90 days? And make sure your answer is consistent. Number two, design a smooth candidate journey. Map out the full process from the application to the screening to the interview rounds, all the way up to the decision point and the offer. Set and communicate timeline expectations. For example, you'll hear from us within 48 hours of the interview, and make sure you keep to that. And then assign a candidate experience owner. I love this idea. Someone responsible for coordinating communications, keeping stakeholders aligned, etc. The third actionable tip here, check your candidate-facing culture. Train interviewers. Ensure they treat the candidates as guests and avoid hurry or indifference when they're talking to their candidates. Use real employees, not just HR, in the interviews. Show genuine team concern and genuine team culture. And then monitor employee morale. Unhappy staff will show during candidate interactions. Number four, audit organizational reputation. Review employer review platforms like Glassdoor to see common complaints. Also, ask candidates who declined what concerned them. Can you get some direct feedback from them? And if you have instability like turnover or restructuring going on, include an honest overview about that in the About Us section and emphasize what you're doing to fix that. Fifthly, communicate transparently. Don't ever overpromise. Show flexibility, career path, culture if reality doesn't support it. Candidates know the difference. During interviews, encourage candidates to ask critical questions like, what's the greatest challenge the team faces this year? And respond candidly. Provide consistent messaging. So everyone involved in interviewing should have the same story about the role and the organization. And then finally, measure and iterate. Track candidate abandonment, dropout rates, and then feedback from declined offers, and really have a very nice way to bring that back to the process. Include a question in your candidate survey like, what gave you pause about joining us? And then using feedback loops. Hire managers plus recruiters and then review that process after each role, after each interview, and what signs were flagged, and then what to improve. So there you have it. That's a lot of information, I know, but there's 4 red flags that make candidates think twice about what you as a manager can do to address them. And if you take away nothing else today, remember this: the hiring process is a mirror into your organization. If your mirror is scratched, cracked, or cloudy, candidates will see the flaws before you do. Well, thank you for listening today to the Manager Lab. I hope this gave you some practical ideas that you can bring back to your team and your interview process this week. If you found some value in this, please share this with a colleague. And until next time we meet in the Manager Lab, do good work.